If you're trying to make money on the internet, one of the things that you've probably seen is YouTube. Doing YouTube videos, creating a YouTube channel is a great way and a great side hustle to make money in 2024. Is that true? Well, if you're in the top 1%, top 5% of creators, yeah, you're making a lot of money, you're doing it full time, and you probably have millions of subscribers and millions of revenue. But if you're a small channel like me with fewer than 5,000 subscribers, go small channels, then you're probably not making a lot of money, and it's probably something that isn't very profitable. So to cut right to the chase, over the past 14 months of being monetized, I've been doing YouTube on and off for the past 4 years roughly, I've made about $430. And I think when you translate the math out, that's like 40 cents per hour when you add in all the time that I've spent scripting, editing, filming. And that's terrible. 40 cents an hour is terrible. And I'm sure the ROI that a lot of different channels have is gonna be very different. But for me, at the moment, it's not something I do for the money. Maybe in the long term, it's something that will pan out. But right now, this is not very good. And I think this has taught me a lot of things. One, don't do YouTube in the short term if you're trying to make money. And two, the appearance of something can sometimes not match the reality of something. For example, this microphone, it's not even plugged in. I just like the way that it looks in my hand. Okay, let's go into the detailed breakdown of my YouTube earnings. All right, welcome to the behind the scenes of the YouTube studio. I'm gonna walk through behind the scenes of what the analytics looks like and show the monthly breakdown of the revenue, what the stats look like, etc. All right, migrating this way. So when you click into the YouTube studio, this is what the analytics dashboards look like. So you can see that I currently have 2676 subscribers. Hey, subscribe if you wanna get me to 2,700. And over the past 28 days, I've made $94.54, mostly due to this one video here. And you can see the stats, 15 something thousand views, click-through rate, etc. Green arrows meaning that is doing better than average. All right, but let's get to the main bit. Let's go to the analytics and let's look at the revenue, see more, and let's look at over the lifetime. So you can see this big spike here. This was in September of 2023, so about 13 months ago, roughly a year ago. And that's when I first started getting monetized. To get monetized on YouTube, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time on long form videos. There's a different requirement for short form videos. I don't remember what it is at the top of my head, but that's when it all started. And this really happened from the singular apartment hunt video that you see down here. Like I made that one knowing that that was gonna be the video that was gonna take me over the 4,000 watch time hours. So, that's exactly what it did. There's another spike here, which is from my previous video about consulting. That one seemed to do pretty well, but okay, let's jump to the breakdown. Over the lifetime of my YouTube channel, really starting last year, I've made $435.51. The majority of that, like the vast majority of that, was a singular video that I made last year about apartment hunting in New York. Here we go. I made about $300 from that video, made 80 from the last one, and then 23 from this Chinese video that I made, and then $17 from another consulting video. The other videos, you can see there's like 15 of them down here, have made basically nothing. Like there's this one here that, I spent like 20, 30 hours to film and edit and made about $4. So I can afford a single shot of espresso in New York City. So you can see through here, you really don't make that much money from the majority of your videos. It's a very top-heavy model. And a lot of it is based on like the type of content that you're making, the number of views, how long people are watching it for, all that good stuff. But what's the actual ROI of this thing look like? Like, yes, I made $440, but let's take into account a couple things. Like on average, I probably have spent between 20 and 30 hours writing, filming, editing videos, especially when I did all the editing myself. And I have, I think, 17 videos. So let's say 30 hours, 17 videos. That's roughly like 500 hours over the course of making these $435. I recently hired an editor, which has been fantastic. And that has cost me about $200, give or take. So let's say like $230. So my net profit in this period is $200. I've spent about 500 hours doing all this stuff. So what, $200, 500 hours, that's like 40 cents an hour. So the ROI on this thing, terrible. And I'm not even saying this as someone who's like super consistent on YouTube and doing it every week or every month. Like I have been very sporadic in the time that I've done YouTube, where periods I haven't done anything and then periods where I upload a lot more. So this can vary a lot by people. All right, let's also see what this looks like by month. So if I go back up here, let's look at the monthly chart. All right, so there's this big spike in the beginning, $70 in the month of September. That was a great month. That's really when the video was doing well. October was another great month. That was around $70. And then once that video started flatlining, you can see that you really don't make that much money. Like there's this big period where it's like, oh, you make $10 a month, 17, really not much. And then there's a little peak here in July again when I uploaded another video, made about $17, $18, nothing, maybe like $5, $10, nothing. And then this big spike again where in this most recent month in October, and we're about 20 something days in, made about $90. So this is a really good month for me. But in order to film, edit, write that video, I spent probably like 15, 20 hours and then the cost of my editor. So actually I'm on a net loss for the month of October. So really, you don't make that much money doing YouTube once you take into account the time and everything else that it takes. Okay, something else is really interesting too. This is more like a fun fact that I learned for myself as I was going through this process. The videos that have the most views and then bring in the most revenue are not necessarily the same videos that bring in the most number of subscribers. So I was clicking around here, so you can see in the past 28 days, added 200 subs. I'm gonna expand that and then look at over the course of my lifetime, YouTube lifetime. And what's interesting is that the video that brought in the most number of subscribers, this unusual system I used to learn Chinese and stay fluent, even after 3 years of not practicing, it's a long title, brought in 600 subscribers, but it only has 17,000 views. And I mean, you can compare that to the other two videos. So Day in a Life of a Taiwanese University, 20K views, 300 subs, half. And then this apartment hunting one, 70,000 views, lots of watch hours, like 10x the watch hours of this Chinese learning one, but half the subscribers and 10x, 12x the revenue, something like that, right? Then same thing for this consulting one, 100 something subscribers, second most revenue, a lot of views, but you know, it doesn't translate to subscribers. And I think that's really interesting because I think it tells you that like, yeah, some people might be watching a ton of these videos like this apartment hunting one, but the people who are watching this video don't really care about you and the content that you are making. They're probably just interested in seeing apartment tours and apartment hunts in New York. And unless you are a channel that creates a ton of those things, chances are people aren't gonna subscribe to keep watching that. Versus something that is a bit more educational, like this system of learning Chinese. Not as many people are gonna be searching for that or looking for that type of content, but the people who are and who are invested in it and like the content are gonna try to stick around to see whatever else you have left. This is probably a lesson for me to create more Chinese videos. I don't think I've done that in a little bit of time. All right, there you have it. An honest peek behind the curtain of what it's like to be a small YouTube channel, what the analytics look like and how much money you make. Is the number surprising to you? Do you think it would have been bigger, smaller? Let me know down in the comments below. Bye-bye.